what's the word, players? Now this is a game that I've been looking forward to ever since I came across it on TikTok, which is a sentence I never thought I would say. A rare TikTok W, I guess. This is developer Aggro Crab's second game, the first game being Going Under. I actually have that game from a Steam sale a while back, but I haven't had a chance to play it, but I definitely need to play it if Another Crab's Treasure is anything to go off of. Now, where Going Under was a roguelike dungeon crawler, Another Crab's Treasure is actually a 3D platformer Souls-like. So far I've put over 6 hours into the game, and I gotta say, this game is fantastic and I highly recommend it. You play as Krill, a hermit crab who's just minding his own business when suddenly a loan shark shows up and says, hey, you owe taxes. Even in video games, taxes are inevitable. Krill ain't got the sand dollar bills to pay the bills, so unfortunately he gets his shell home repossessed. And as we all know, a hermit crab without their shell is like a certain plumber without their mustache. It just ain't right. So he sets off into the deep blue to get his shell back. Right off the bat, I gotta say I love this plot because Krill's not out to save somebody or save the world. He's just out there to get his home back and have everything go back to normal. Kinda reminds me of a certain pink puff guy. As you discover, the sea life ain't too friendly, especially since there's a thing going around called the gunk that's driving everyone mad. But there are some characters that are willing to lend you a hand. Or in this case, Claw. I gotta say, I really like the character writing and voice acting. It's pretty good in my opinion. And I'm a sucker for puns, so the wordplay, some of the dialogue actually had me chuckle or straight up laugh a few times. The standouts so far are Krill, who's just so dang adorable. Firth seems pretty cool, and Nima, I think that's how you pronounce her name, seems really cool and chill. As mentioned, this is Aggro Crab's attempt at making a 3D platformer, which is definitely my jam, and a Souls-like, which is actually a genre I'm still pretty new at. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love action games, such as Kingdom Hearts, Devil May Cry, Nier Automata, Scarlet Nexus, the list goes on, but I have not played a lot of Souls-likes. In terms of Soulsborne games from Software, the only one I've played was an hour of Dark Souls 2 at a friend's house, which I'm not sure if Dark Souls 2 is the best entry point into the series. And I do have both Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor from a sale, so maybe I can start playing those and get more exposed to the genre. So if you're familiar with the genre, this is going to be pretty similar. You engage with enemies, you typically fight one-on-one with an enemy. If you fight multiples, then you have to be very aware of your surroundings, where you gotta dodge, parry, or you just gotta make a tactical retreat, because every hit counts. Krill is not a tank, and death means you lose all the things that you've gathered, and unless you make it back to where you last fell and gather your stuff back, if you die again before you reach that point, that stuff is gone. You do have a way to heal, but it's a very valuable resource, so you want to preserve as much of your health as possible. From what I understand, bonfires are a big thing in this genre, and in this game, there are moon snail shells, which are places that act as your checkpoint, where you can also level up your skills, and also fast travel to different shells. Speaking of shells, a really cool thing about this game is that since Krill is a hermit crab, he can pick up random pieces of junk around to act as a temporary shell for him that can act as both a shield and also give him new skills called umami skills, which can be either offensive, such as a party hat that acts as a shotgun, or defensive, where some things can actually give him stronger defense, or different status effects. In addition, he can also gain new skills called adaptations, which I guess you get from bigger bosses, but so far I've only got the one. For something that's set in the Souls-like genre, this game stands out for having a cartoony, charming art style, but it can surprisingly get pretty serious and dark at times, which kinda takes you by surprise. One example I can think of is pretty early in the game. This isn't that much of a spoiler, this is literally super early in the game. One of the first areas you come across is Fort Slacktide, which is a castle-like setting. Nothing too out of the ordinary, it's pretty cute seeing these crab soldiers all around. But after your first boss fight, when you come back to Fort Slacktide, you see that the gunk has invaded everything and it's driven everyone mad, and you just see how the atmosphere changes, the music changes, and it's pretty intense. Speaking of music, this game has some legit bangers. did come across a few minor bugs here and there with some of the bosses getting stuck in that geometry, and another where I died and I was just stuck on the loading screen. But at the time of this recording, they've actually released a huge patch to address a bunch of bugs and stuff like that. So hey, the developers are definitely on it to try to polish up this game and make it as great as possible. I can't comment on the Switch version. I'm playing on the PC version. Let me know down below how the Switch version is doing, but if you can play this on any other system besides the Switch, definitely do so. Anyway, I'm going to continue playing the mess out of this game because it is so much fun. Like, seriously, check it out if this looks interesting to you at all. And I think that's going to cover it for this game. Let me know down below if you had a chance to play another Krabs Treasure and what your experience is, or if this seems like something you'd click up. If you're looking for a non-denominational church, down in the description below will be a link to our church locator, and if you just want to hang out, link to my Discord is also down below. Once again, y'all, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.